know this story. I think people drive by a Boys and Girls Clubs or they see the logo that they've recognized for years and they have a preconceived notion. But you're talking about, and you've used the words, the whole person, that you're working to address the health outcomes, the citizenship, and I mean, just the whole person. And one of the things that you and I have talked about also prior to this is that we can't do it all, right? Boys and Girls Club can't solve for every single component, which is so impactful because you all, I have a perception now that you are one of the best partnership organizations in our nation. I've mentioned it to you before that it seems like when I go visit new models or get an understanding for a specific concept that's happening, I seem to always run into Boys and Girls Club partnered with somebody else. Talk to me about that culture that you're trying to build around partnerships.
Yeah, thank you for recognizing that, and thank you for seeing it and kind of registering it in your mind too, because it is intentional and it's not something that we've always been known for, but it is something we're proud of, and it's something that we believe is the key to the future. And it's not just around money when it comes right down to it. This is about being able to leverage different community assets for the betterment of, in our case, kids, children, teenagers. And frankly, partnerships are really the only way it's going to work in the future. And I mean that sincerely because sure, there's a lot of different agencies, a lot of different programs, different services in every community, and some are small, some are big, some are very focused and boutique, if you will. I think it takes a collection of all of this to make it happen. Some are public government funded, some are private. These things matter, and these partnerships have to be with government, public-private partnerships, and they have to be with other providers, service providers in a community. So one simple one is with schools. Mm-hmm. I think the progressive school districts, the progressive school superintendents have realized this for a while. Unfortunately, not all have yet in this nation, because it's not about competition. And that those are my kids, and I don't want anybody else to look good because they're able to, get more success in terms of outcomes for a kid. Those days are gone. It is going to take everyone working together. The old adage, it takes a village to raise a child. And the more we believe that, and the more we can form concrete, intentional, productive partnerships, the better it will be. Now, I would also add, and it's something I think we've gotten good at, and I know, for example, Tina's gotten very good at this in Oklahoma City, is these aren't superficial partnerships. None of us are interested in that. I don't care how good it looks on paper. If it's not making a meaningful difference or having an impact on a child, we shouldn't be doing it. Because the vanity type partnerships just to look good are also a thing of the past in my mind. Mm-hmm. So these are real. These are where both entities have skin in the game, where both entities put this at the highest level in their organization with their CEO, with their board, so that there's attention, that there's focus on it, that there are true goals, measurable goals to the partnership that we are going to achieve together. These are the components of a partnership that matters, and that's exactly what we're focused on. So yes, some are big partnerships with schools to provide continuity of learning or supplemental learning. Some are with, as I mentioned earlier, with the military to provide our services to kids on military bases, or in Native America. Boys and Girls Clubs is the largest provider of youth services on tribal lands in America. And I think that says a lot too about a relationship and what this word partner really means, because those are sovereign nations. Separately governed. And when it comes to putting their most precious assets in someone's hands, we're proud that it's Boys and Girls Clubs.
That's beautiful. And so those relationships are required. It's not just this, like you said, vanity partnership where we put our logos next to one another. It is truly knowing one another so that when there are times of stress, we have the muscles built to address those, to innovate around those. And I'm confident, and because I know it, that Boys and Girls Clubs across the country have stood up during that period of time. You shared it with me. We've heard some examples of that. And I honestly I want to express my gratitude as somebody who lives in these systems for the culture that you've built, the organization that you're running, that have been around for 160 years, serving 4 million plus kids every year. It matters. The people who work on the front lines in your organization matter. I know Mr. AJ. That guy matters in the lives of dozens of kids. And then their lives are better because he is in it. And so I just want to say thank you for all of that the last few years, but 11 years as CEO of Boys and Girls Clubs of America, your prior decade of service in Milwaukee as director there. Thank you for giving your life to our kids.
Well, Justin, thank you for the compliment, but it takes two to tango. And you deserve credit as well because you've been a receptive partner, but you've been a progressive partner as well. And just hearing that the relationship, as you pointed out, and the comfort of that relationship, that Tina could call you no matter what time of day or wherever you were on vacation, I think says a lot about you and what you believe in, and obviously all the things we've talked about today. I would add that I see that type of relationship and partnership also growing with our public sector. Today, right now, we could send a text or an email to Secretary Walsh, Department of Labor, the federal level, or Cardona, Education, and if they weren't in the middle of a speech, they would get back to us. And it's just so rewarding and gratifying to see this unison around some of the challenges in our country and the willingness to work together to solve them. And this really is what the partnership or the relationship piece is all about. And I think